Just a few weeks ago, Jayden Adams was living the dream that millions of young footballers can only imagine. At just 25 years old, he had proudly represented South Africa on football's biggest stage, helping Bafana Bafana make history at the FIFA World Cup. His career was soaring, his future looked brighter than ever, but today South Africa is mourning the heartbreaking loss of one of its youngest, brightest stars. Tributes have poured in from across the country and around the world, leaving fans asking the same devastating question: what happened to Jayden Adams? But before we get into today's tragic story, please like, subscribe, and turn the notifications button on so that you receive a notification every single time I post a video. Jayden Oswin Adams was born on 5 May 2001 in Cape Town, South Africa. From a young age, football was his passion, and he rose through the young ranks at Stellenbosch FC before making history in 2020 as the club's first academy graduate to sign a professional contract. A versatile central midfielder known for his composure on the ball, vision, and relentless work rate, Adams quickly established himself as one of South Africa's brightest young talents. After more than 100 appearances for Stellenbosch and helping the club win the 2023 Carling Knockout, he earned a move to Mamelodi Sundowns in January 2025, where he added a league and CAF Champions League success to his growing list of achievements. He made his Bafana Bafana debut and went on to represent South Africa at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, fulfilling the dream of wearing his country's colors on football's biggest stage. Despite his growing fame, Adams remained remarkably private, rarely speaking publicly about his personal life. He did post his girlfriend every now and then. I think his very last post, one of those that disappear after 24 hours on Instagram, was a picture of him and his girlfriend. There's something especially heartbreaking about seeing the Instagram story of someone who has just passed away. For a moment, your brain almost refuses to accept what's happened. Their story is still there, sitting at the top of your screen, as if they're still alive, as if they've just picked up their phone a few hours ago and shared another moment from their day. It stays up for 24 hours, frozen in time, while the person behind it is already gone. That contrast makes the loss feel surreal. It's a painful reminder of how quickly life can change and how someone's digital presence can outlive them, even if only for a little while. I'll be honest, I don't really follow sports that closely, but when I came across the news of Jayden Adams passing on Twitter, I couldn't help but notice just how many people were heartbroken. The outpouring of love and tributes from fans, teammates, and even people who had never met him made me stop scrolling. It's always incredibly sad when someone loses their life at such a young age, especially someone who seemed to have such a bright future ahead of them. That led me down a rabbit hole, reading everything I could find about Jayden, his journey, his career, and the impact he had on the people around him. So in this video, I'd like to share what I learned about this young man, especially what seems to have been going on with him in his last days. One moment that has drawn a lot of attention online is a video of the Bafana Bafana players celebrating in the changing room after their match. While most of the team can be seen singing and celebrating together, Jayden is sitting quietly by himself, looking noticeably subdued. Many people have connected that moment to the heartbreaking news that his grandmother had reportedly passed away the day before. As a result, some fans have questioned whether he should have been expected to be with the squad at all while grieving such a significant personal loss. I can only imagine how incredibly sad it is to be at a place where you should be happy but you're grieving the loss of a loved one. I imagine it made him even sadder, knowing she'd probably be laid to rest before he could even make it back home. However, it's important to remember that from a short video alone, we can't know exactly what Jayden was feeling in that moment or why he chose to sit apart. In professional sport, situations like this are usually handled on a case-by-case basis. Players are often given compassion leave or the option to step away if they feel unable to participate. But some also choose to continue training or playing as a way of coping, honoring a loved one, or fulfilling commitments to their team. Unless those directly involved share what happened behind the scenes, it would be unfair to conclude that anyone acted improperly based solely on a brief clip circulating on social media. And then I also learned that this was not the only loss he was dealing with. On his social media profile, it shows that he was still affected by the loss of his best friend who passed in 2023. I went to look it up, and according to Cape Times, promising young football player Oshwin Andries, 19 years old, died in hospital on Saturday, a week after he was stabbed in circumstances which remain a mystery. The fact that Jayden still had RIP best friend Oshwin Andries in his social media bio shows that his friend remained close to his heart years later. Losing people you love can leave a lasting impact, and grief often stays with us in ways that aren't always visible to others. Imagine still grieving a best friend and then again losing a close family member. While it's impossible to know what someone is going through behind closed doors, these losses are a reminder that many people quietly carry pain while continuing to show up for their families, friends, teammates, and supporters. Around the same time, an older interview with his coach began circulating online. In the clip, the coach spoke about Jayden, quote unquote, losing himself at some point. After watching the video, some people on social media began speculating that Jayden may have been struggling with his mental health. It's important to note that these are interpretations made by members of the public. Neither the coach nor Jayden himself publicly confirmed that he was experiencing mental health issues. So any conclusions beyond what was actually said remain speculation. But I will play this clip for you and you'll get to your own conclusions.
I think Jayden is a little bit the same story as Rele and Bukazi. When you're so young and suddenly you become a very good player and a star, and there is so much interest on you that it's difficult to manage that. And Jayden was on a certain moment, he lost himself also. The moment he went to Sundowns, I think he thought, oh, now things are done.
It was also heavily speculated that because of these mentioned factors, he decided to self-exit. It's extremely important to note that this has not been officially confirmed by reliable sources. But regardless of how he passed away, what matters most right now is remembering the life he lived, not spreading unconfirmed speculation. My thoughts are with his family, friends, teammates, and everyone who loved him. May his soul rest in peace.